Hello, 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 everybody. This is Just Dog 25, and I am playing The Long Dark. I am playing the Eternal Blizzard Challenge. So, thanks to Modder Deadman, along with the obviously fake account and Digital Zombie. The Long Dark has created, or people have created for The Long Dark, a mod that can set the weather to whatever you're looking for eternally. So, the worst, most death inducing weather event in this game is, in fact, the full on blizzard. So, I've set this mod to blizzard all of the time. And the way that this changes the game is that being outside, your clothes are going to continuously get wet and get ruined. You are going to be as cold as possible as soon as possible, and I believe it completely removes the wildlife. So last time I played this on Voyager difficulty, which doesn't have as aggressive wildlife. However, I didn't see any wildlife at all. So today I want to try it on Stalker difficulty, which is one step up. And Stalker is known for not only a lower loot table, so I'll be getting less resources, but the wildlife is supposed to be abundant and aggressive. So if the blizzard also removes the spawns of the wildlife, we're going to see what goes on with that. So it's part experiment, part challenge. You can't really find too many people taking on Eternal Blizzard for the Long Dark. I do expect to die multiple times, always, forever. So we're gonna take a look and let's see what we can do with this. So last time I did this, I started in Mountain Town. Mountain Town has a lot of different buildings that are close together. Now, with this type of challenge, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, that makes Blizzard mode easy. Nothing makes Blizzard mode easy. However, I wouldn't want to start in like a Hush River Valley or any location that doesn't have a good amount of indoor locations, because if you're just standing out in a blizzard, you will die. Like, you need to have in inside locations. So I'm going to go to Bleak Inlet. I am not a master of the maps of this game. I still have a lot of work to do as far as map knowledge, which has been said by many people to be the most potent thing that you can have is map knowledge, because then you know where to go. So we are going to check it out. So let's check out Bleak Inlet and let's see how far we can get. Once home to a thriving industrial cannery, seismic instability has cut Bleak Inlet off from the rest of the Great Bear mainland. Inaccessible and in the heart of Timberwolf territory, exploring Bleak Inlet is not for the faint of heart. The cannery industrial complex holds a useful treasure for those hardy enough to access it. Connects to Fornlord Muskeg and the Ravine Transition Zones. So let's take a look. Let's get in there. Alright. I've been told that we always go with the female because she has less dialogue lines. So if your character is dying and you choose the male, he's going to be whining a lot. Whereas if you choose the female, she doesn't whine nearly as much as she slowly fades into the long dark. And that's the only difference. It's not one stronger, one's faster, or anything like that. It's literally the voice track. So I only have one feat to add to this challenge. There's many feats to unlock. I've played over 200 hours of this game, and somehow I have not gotten many feats. So we're not gonna. I'm definitely gonna try a version of this where I activate the Cougar, because I'm wondering if that'll override the Blizzard seemingly not spawning any enemies. If I could have the Blizzard Cougar challenge or something. I don't care about scurvy, and we're not doing anything with the trader. So let's go ahead and Eternal Blizzard. We are going to get started. So I don't know where I'm going to spawn, but it's probably in a blizzard. Hopefully I can still spawn inside on Stalker location. I do not recall. So let's take a look. It is hard to adapt to chaos, but it can be done. I am living proof of that. It can be done. Well, alright, Mr. Breakfast of Champions, let's see if this can be done. Alright, like I said, I don't have a lot of map knowledge. So, I'm just going to try to find an indoor location. Sticks are still crucial. I don't know, if we run into wildlife, then I'll know that, oh my god, you guys hear that? I'm just gonna run down here and hope that I can get somewhere. I'm gonna stick to Bleak Inlet even when I die, because I would like for this episode or this full session to be kind of exploring the potential of Bleak Inlet specifically. So I believe on this bridge a lot of times there's a moose. I am not seeing him. I'm not sure if in the game's mechanics it just does not spawn wildlife, or if it despawns them, because you can only see 10 feet in front of you. So it might make it a point to despawn them. I'm not entirely sure. But I am hoping to find some shelter soon. I believe, is this the coastline? Let me pick up this stick. It's going to save me from totally dying right now. Alright, that's not the coastline. So, that's a thing. I swear usually the coastline's on that side. But I know that usually there's houses along the coastline.
God, yeah. Freezing.
Alright, let's see if we get there. This first spawn might just be new. Because if you don't, like, I don't believe, like, if I don't find an indoor location, like, at least one, then I'm just freezing to death out here. And that'll be the game. I mean, the challenge is to deal with that and get where you need to go, but let's see. Let's figure it out. There's another light post. Maybe this is coming up on it. Even if I find a fishing hut, we could start feeling a little bit safe in this challenge. I do absolutely love the blizzard effects, though. Let's get it. Come up here. I don't know, my character might just freeze to death. No. That's not where he's going. Oh, forgot. I don't think there's much up here. Oh no, we put ourselves into a goading situation. Nah. We could start a fire where it's blocked. Even during a blizzard, you can find certain areas where you can actually get a fire going, but obviously that's not going to be our smartest play. We really just want to find some form of shelter, and I'm going to keep playing until we do. So let's take a quick look at our inventory. Hypothermia, of course, and yes, like, even our starting clothes, since we've been, like, stuck in this blizzard since we started, even our starting clothes, like, they're wet. We're gonna have to find multiple different full outfits. Alright, let's see where this brings me. We're gonna have to find multiple different full outfits, because we're gonna have to dry outfits out as well, just to survive. We can't dry them out in the sun. I remember hearing that there was a trick to these where you could get through them, but I guess not. This is actually a good area to warm up if I wanted to start a fire. But I really just want to get to shelter. If I feel like if I can't find one shelter before freezing to death, like in a run, then it's like the run's over. I don't want to, start a fire. It gave me a little bit more time. You know, because resources for fires are going to be very, even if I found a cave just to start, the resources for fires are going to be pretty hard to come by in a challenge like this. Let's rock and roll. Oh, we're not doing that, we're not doing that, we're not doing that. Alright, I'm restarting. I'm definitely not making it. Definitely not making it with that. That's alright. Alright, we're gonna go to Bleak Inlet again. We're not giving up on the location. Let's go to Stalker mode. Confirm. And then wherever it decides to dump us. Like I said, I believe if I at least go the shoreline, I'm guaranteed to run into some form of shelter. Here, you know what? I'm leaving the Cougar on. I want to test that out. Let's leave the Cougar on to see if somehow the Cougar can appear during a blizzard. I don't know. I haven't even done much with the Cougar. Like, I always turn it off. So let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. He is at home with his solitude as the note reverberating inside a bell. Peter Heller, the dog stars. Alright. So it's dark out-ish. And it's like, do I go towards this white wall? Or this white wall? Well, this one has a weird animation that looks like sparks, but I know it's not, so I'm gonna go weird animation way. What is this? What is... Oh! I guess during... Yeah, that's just weird. During a blizzard, I guess these chips fly up. That's interesting. Obviously, I don't want to go too close to the falling water, because one of my big problems is getting soaked by all the snow that's packing into and melting my clothing right now. I can't pretend to know the full mechanics of what causes you to sink through the ice, but I know I just have the starting gear. And I was kind of under the impression that, you know, for the most part, it's having added weight that would increase your risk of falling through the ice, but I guess not. I guess I'll grab this now. Got it. We're probably just going to work the perimeter. Somebody like me who does not have significant map knowledge, one of the advices is just to work the perimeter as you learn. Wow, look how those wave. That's so cool. Look at that, and it like bends. Hi. Alright, you're cold. I'm sorry, we're in a blizzard. Alright. Let's get out of here. Is this a cave? Yeah, I'm just gonna have to run the perimeter. It does seem like you wouldn't think it, but you get a pretty good amount of time freezing to death in a blizzard to find at least your first place. But then again, there's wide areas in this game where there is no place. And obviously the game is meant to only have blizzards sometimes. So yes, it wasn't built to accommodate this situation, but at least there is a good buffer of time where it seems, you know, where you could be out in this blizzard and then still have a chance to survive some length of time. Let's go up here. I hope I don't get jump scared by the cracking and ankle animation climbing up these slopes again, like I have previously. Yeah, look at that. Jiggle, jiggle, wiggle, 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 yeah. Jiggle, 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 wiggle, wiggle, yeah. Love it. Alright, let's get down here. I want to pick up these sticks if when I get a chance to make a fire or start a fire in a stove indoors. Sticks are going to be crucial for heat, warming up, hopefully cooking food. I know I'm getting greedy to even suggest that I might get to cook food. Like I've said, there are other areas and spawn locations that I could start in to where I'd have houses, but I really want to like find a place organically in this mode. Alright, there's a road, which could mean nothing. Pick up that, yeah, it means a dead end. Yeah, I think this is one of the regions that I had a big problem I even know where I'm at right now, and it's nowhere good. Like, as far as I remember these things, and it doesn't make me feel like I'm close to any internal structure. But I know that I followed this up, so I'm going to go this way to kind of keep the perimeter plan rolling. Is there like a cave up here? So even if I can find a cave, I feel like we have a game. Especially a cave with a granola bar to keep me warm. Let's rock and roll it. Rock and roll it. Through. If I don't fall through ice, or there's no significant reason for me to quit this round, at some point I will start a fire just to show off that you can start a fire and actually maintain it in certain areas, even when the fiercest wind weather condition is occurring. Did I hear animals? I'm just hearing things. Alright, we have found our cave. We have found our cave. And I'm going to do something real quick because I am not sure if the audio is doing what I need it to do. It's a cave with the bones, which means a bear spawn, but it also has a carcass, and I don't know if bears can spawn right now. So hold on 1 second, I gotta change something, and I hope it didn't mess the audio up for the whole beginning of this video, but I don't think it will. Alright. Alrighty, there we go. Alright. And we're back. Alright, now that we're in here, this mode, any little item in here, harvest salt. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe that's a part of, that could be a part of the newest DLC. Alright, do I have any coal in here? What do they start you off with? And I have matches, which matches can make the fire. So I think the biggest thing that I need to make right now is the fire. I only have 8 sticks. I don't have much at all to feed it. Just finding a cave in the beginning here. But I feel like, yeah, I just gotta start a fire and not think too much about it, even though I don't have much to feed it with. So let's go for it. Let's start the matches. Can't start a fire, probably because I don't have tinder, or I'm not allowed. Yeah, okay. Can't start a fire. Can't warm up. I mean, it's one of the big things that I could find, unless I found an indoor location, which I could find newspaper and, like, household objects to make tinder. One of the biggest things is if I can find, there's certain types of grass, reeds that grow around the water. Cattails. And the tips make tinder. I mean, I'd still love to just find a house. I was on the I was
So cold.
on
To
its
think.
edge. Okay. Is it still going? Does that go up during a blizzard or
Do I?
something?
If I don't
My
warm them
clothes
up
are now wet.
soon.
Yeah, of course. Am I out on the lake? I have no idea where I am. I'm just gonna fade into the dark. Do I finally find the lake? See, here's the problem. When you can't see 10 feet in front of you. Yeah, it probably made it to the edge, from the edge line, which is why things started to, people on the edge of it started to give the danger of falling through the ice. Now that I found the edge, I might be able to find a house, but I know I have to have hypothermia at this point. I have to have hypothermia at this point.
Oh, so cold.
Yeah, frostbite. Actual frostbite. Alright, where are we? That's more of the cold. I'm gonna work around it. She's not dead until she's dead. That sounds pretty grim, but that's what I gotta go with. Okay, we have a dock. We have a dock. Alright, I wish I didn't fall in the water, because now we finally got to where all the houses are. Let's see if it matters. Alright, hopefully I find matches. Alright, just take it all. Take everything. Why are you not closed so I can possibly get stuff from you? Whetstone, take it. I don't have anything. And it doesn't look like it's naturally warm. Yeah, like with my clothes and everything, like even being inside's not gonna naturally warm me up. Maybe if I put on this flare. Here, yeah, I might as well just like take all the clothes off except, you know, like all the wet stuff. Alright, there's a piece of wood.
I'll take it.
What if I sleep? And now, is there a mechanic to where it's like, if you sleep with wet clothes on, does that matter? And are the clothes being wet, are they naturally reducing? So air temperature's 28, feels like 29, but let me look at my clothes. Like, do they negative me? It doesn't look like the clothes negative you. It's just that they don't have a heat value. So now that I found this, that gives me a heat value. And then that gives me a bit of a heat value. And that's 1 of 1. Okay. So, alright. But, so, it's like, do I... Yeah, I guess, let me just take them off. They don't benefit me. So, I'm +2 on my warmth bonus. Because I gotta learn a bit about this. If I bed, it still feels like 30 degrees. What I can do is I can make hand wraps out of cloth. Yeah, I don't want to do this. Because I feel like I've already... Yeah, well, there's a fireplace. So we're going to start a fire. I don't want to use this, but I don't want to use all of my matches either. And I'm kind of in a dire situation. You know, people are probably freaking out, like, why are you talking right now? Let's hit this. Let's make a fire. Take charcoal, even though we're not using the charcoal.
I'll rest soon.
No tinder. I could still 100% it. Well, I think because it's a fireplace. Nope, no source of tinder. Okay, where's the newspapers at? Hold on. I might be able to tinder a book. Tinder a book. No. Alright. There has to be. Like, I'm just so used to getting over inundated with newspapers. I know that's empty. Stack of papers. Stack of papers just for me. Alright, and then we gotta... Oh my god, I'm gonna die because I'm bad at pressing buttons. Get our tinder plugs going.
I'm so tired. I could lay down right here.
Yeah, I understand. And now we just gotta naturally find... Start fire. There we go. And we're gonna use the accelerant. I need to make sure. So, there we go. We got a fire. We got a fire, and because it's a chimney type fire, it should... we're gonna add some fuel. So, we're gonna try to heat up as much as we can. One of my big issues is that I can't... It looks like if I go to sleep, at some point the fire goes out. I don't naturally make warmth bonus to, you know, keep my warmth while sleeping unless fire is on. Alright, let's break this down. What we can do is break down all the wood and just feed it right into the fire. 43. Break you down, right? Oh, needs a hatchet for a broom. Dude, I could break... I myself could break a broom into usable wood without a hatchet. Is there anything else I can break down? Cardboard box. Alright. At least we're getting that heat. Now, would it matter? This game is pretty deep, so the clothes that I took off... all the clothes that I took off, I didn't throw them away. I should be able... I don't want to use a match, but here we go. If I set them next to the fire, where'd they go? I didn't put them anywhere. Do they just disappear? I know I can put a bedroll next to the fire. Yeah, wondering if, like... Or maybe I just took them off and they're still in my inventory. Okay, yes. So, let me see. 70, so drop. I'm gonna drop these in front of the fire and see if in this... Yeah, because they're also wet. Are these wet? No, they are not. They're a little wet, but they still work. Yeah, drop those. Alright, so I have this stuff, and yes, it looks like it's next to the fire. So in this mode, something that I never really thought about, your clothes are gonna get wet. You can put them next to a fire for them to dry, and that sounds simple, but that's something that a lot of people wouldn't think about. I know that there are people that have played long runs in the Long Dark and they fall into the water, but they continue the run because it's not worth restarting. But people like me, I'll just restart. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but hopefully this is in the max proximity to the fire to get everything that it needs. And we got our cozy little fire, and let's see what we're gonna have to like eat everything that we have. We did get peaches. I can't just eat the oats like, oh, nom, nom, nom. Can I prepare you? Yeah, there's crafting. That's 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And let's chop up some mushrooms. And I have the other houses. What's cool is I have the other houses I can go into, too. So... you will weaken until you stay above freezing for 18 hours. Well, that would include sprain risk, frostbite risk. So also what we can do is these are actually going to dry up, which is going to work wonders for us. Those are going to dry up. We don't have gloves, so we actually... it's a knife to break open the pillow. We can actually create cloth and make hand wraps and a head wrap which will help us very minimally, but that'll be fine. So that's for bandages. What about a head wrapper? Yeah, improvised crampons. Makeshift traction for your feet. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I would need 4 cloth and a sewing kit. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this bandage. And I'm glad that it's just 1 cloth, but we're gonna make this bandage for our sprain. So let's kick it. Let's go to medical. What else do we have? We have painkillers.
Why didn't that work?
Okay, I don't know. I'm just clicking use, but not on where. Alright, hopefully that helped. Okay, cool. So yeah, we got these. How much more time do we have on the fire? We got 1 hour, but we can use some of these. So we want to make some water. And then I can also cook the peaches. So we got to smash it open. But then we can get a warming up benefit, which hopefully would impact the 18 hours that we need for getting back to normal. Now we also have to sleep. Let me see. Yeah, that's making water. We also, so yeah, let's eat that, even though that decreases, increases our thirst. So I think we'll be able to make it to the next cabin. I'm pretty sure. Obviously, going outside is a no-no right now. I'm hoping that once these dry out, which I'm wondering if I bring them closer, like what if I drop them right next to the fire, is that going to do anything? There's a lot of experimentation from me, by my standards, with this, because I don't know. Masters at the game would know. But very few try this mode. Alright, so we got that. But we do have to sleep. Our health is right now, our health is going down because of sleep. And we have to sleep. We need water for our thirst meter. That's the little water drop down there. And, once we get that all set up, we should be alright. About 22 minutes until burned. Let's drink it. That's going to give us some water. And that's until boiled. Past time until ready. And I'm going to take it and see if I can make... Is this the antibiotic? We don't really need those effects. So let's drink the water. And then we're going to go to sleep after our clothes dry out. Like I said, okay, yep. Yeah, it seemed like they dried, they started to dry a whole lot faster right next to the fire, which is as expected. So let's pop those on. You on. Be nice and warm, and then let's see if we naturally have a warming up bonus. See if we naturally have, well, we have the warming up bonus, but let's see what the bed would do for us. Feels like 68. So yeah, now, before with the wet clothes and without the clothes, we wouldn't stay warm in bed without the fire. But now I can throw 9 hours of sleep at it, right? And then just hope that there's food and water in the next room. So normally in this game, there's a blizzard, you go to bed, and by the time you wake up, if you have a good night's sleep, the blizzard's gone. But that is not so with this challenge. I'm going to spend a whole lot of this video just being like, this is the blizzard challenge. Curtain. Alright, no. I want to at least look at the sake of not having matches anymore. Alright, we're good. Hypothermia shouldn't be bad. Take that can with us. I could have turned that into wood. So now we are going to try to head right into the next cabin. It's going to be dark. Well, we ain't got to worry about wildlife. Alright, so that was the first cabin. Let's just be quick about it. We just spent a whole lot of resources just trying to get more. Is this the masters of the game are probably just like, what is this man doing? This might be one of those that doesn't work. This might be one of those where you can't go inside of it. Oh my god, is that all we got? This section's just a house to go into. Now I really wish I kept that flare. Alright, we're going for it. Gotta keep moving. I'm not going towards the lake. Where I am. You see just how fast our world is going down. We need 18 hours warmed up straight for the hypothermia and the frostbite to go away.
It's a goddamn freezing. Can you guys see anything? Dude, I can't see. I don't actually the edge because that's where you fall in. Like kind of up. There's grass. Grass-ishness. Can I get up you? This kind of looks like I'm moving up. Alright. Alright. I don't know why. I don't know why we're getting tired really fast. That's what I'm not understanding. Alright, so we got this looks like a bridge. Alright, here's a car. I'm starting to kind of recognize where we are. Alright, let's take a breather. And no, typically in cars, you don't get a warm-up bonus, That guy who drank his own pee doesn't seem so crazy right now.
right? Is there anything? I would take a flare in a minute. I would take a flare in a hot minute. Alright, we got you there. I gotta remember. Yeah, okay. Alright, I gotta remember. There was a road
needs this anymore.
Alright, let's throw this on. The only non-soaked. Yeah, and they're frozen. Clothing that's found in cars are frozen, so they actually have to get warmed up inside in order to be useful. Is that a car or a truck? That was a truck. Pump in the back. Alright, this truck opens. Locked. Alright, we're in it. Alright, let's pop out. Let's get in here.
I can lay down and have a little sleep right
I
here.
know, lay down and pass out. Like, I literally have to find a house, like, that has, like, 5 different things. Yeah, give me the memento key. I'm totally gonna make it there. Ask Sue about Grandpa's fishing kit. Did she have it in her truck? So there's a fishing kit in the truck somewhere, which I'm probably not gonna be able to use. I think it's pretty appropriate. Okay. Well, there's fishing tackle. If I had the right supplies and I found one fishing hut, that could be pretty advantageous in this
I
modded
think I
area.
can use this.
Hey, I will take a flare. I will take a flare. Anything else? Bag of chips, please. Anything's very good to have right now. The character's dying. Yep. Pop those bad boys on right away. Yeah, look, I love the frozen icon. Alright, let's pop it. Alright, I'm just so used to finding clothes in my houses, I guess. It frustrates me. I found one of the warmest items in the game. It was like a full-force parka, and I rarely ever found it. And it was like the warmest like clothing you can get, and it was in a car, and it was frozen. I think it's during one of these challenges. Okay, my character can't run. Character's freezing. Die and thirst. Okay.
See, I'm
There's
freezing.
the pry bar. Let me take the pry bar and run back to that one car to get something frozen out of the truck.
This stuff will come in handy.
It's like, should I even put these on out here? Or should I save it? Like, if I can get to shelter. Because it'll probably stay dry in my backpack. It's like, am I doing wrong by slapping them on real quick? There's the house. There's the car. I have a rifle. Okay, there you go. Just over. And watch.
This
Yeah,
will come in
paint That's it. Hold on one second.